सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत्। We were studying verses 6 and 7 of the 12th chapter of the Gita last Sunday. This chapter is Bhakti Yoga chapter, and Krishna told us that the path of jnana, or knowledge, is very difficult for those who have body consciousness, dehatma buddhi. Therefore, the path of bhakti is meant for all. We work out our samskaras through our actions by dedicating them to the divine. Therefore Krishna said in that shloka, Tesham aham samudharta bhavami. I become their redeemer. From what? Mrityu samsara sagarat. This samsara of mrityu, samsara sagara, from this we get freedom by realizing our own true nature, which is birthless and deathless. The body alone dies, not the Atman. That knowledge we are able to get through this practice of bhakti with devotion to the divine. Bhavami na chirat prartha maya aveshita chedasam. Those whose minds are dedicated to me, minds are dedicated to the divine. As they practice like this, they develop their spiritual awareness and their spiritual strength step by step. So, bhakti is placed before us because it is easy for us to perform. If jnana has to begin with the consciousness I am not this body, then we shall have to wait till eternity, till that body consciousness goes away. So, the majority of people in the country, they are all followers of bhakti. And so many great bhaktas have realized the divine, and they have realized the joy of spiritual freedom. They have communicated that joy to others through their songs, through their writings. And so here Krishna is speaking about this path of bhakti as easier for us to accomplish step by step. Sri Ramakrishna also says the jnani must wipe away all attachments of the senses. But how can you wipe away like that? It is there. So Ramakrishna said, to a bhakta, there is no need to wipe it away. We gently give it a turn towards the divine. Mod firiye thou. In Bengali he said, turn the direction. Then slowly we overcome them. In this way, Bhakti Yoga has been expounded in various scriptures as easy a path for men and women. In the Bhagavata, in the 11th book, There is a description, a person who has not much attachment to the world, nor is he endowed with high renunciation. Such a person can achieve perfection through bhakti by hearing about the Lord by chance. Just passing by, you saw one discourse going on, you sat there, beautiful ideas about God and love, devotion, this was being said. Somehow your heart responded to it. From that day, you become a devotee. You have not become pure. You have not become a man of renunciation. Lot of attachments are still there. But doesn't matter. You have started on your journey. The first step you have taken. Then continue. Then you will realize that highest bhakti in this very life. In this way, the 11th book of the Bhagavatam refers to the people who are fit for Bhakti Yoga. Yadarchaya mat kathadavo jata shraddhasaya puman nanarvinno nadarikto Bhakti Yogo asya siddhida. To such a person, Bhakti Yoga becomes siddhida, the giver of siddhi or realization. What kind of people? Yadarchaya mat kathadavo jata shraddhasaya puman. By chance, he heard talks about me and his heart became attracted to that spiritual life, to the love of God. None of it know. He has not high spirit of renunciation. Na atirikto. Nor is he intensely attached to the worldly life. Bhakti yoga asya siddhida. To all such people, Bhakti Yoga will gently lead them on to the highest realization. That is in the 11th book of Srimad Bhagavatam. So here we continue with verse 8. Mayyeva mana ātatsva may buddhim niveshaya nivesashyasi mayyeva atavurdhvam na samshayaha. Mayyeva mana ātatsva. Let your mind rest in me only. Train your mind to rest in God, he says. Then, finally, my buddhim niveshaya. Your buddhi also, let it enter into me. That is the right place for it. Buddhi is reason, discrimination. That buddhi must be colored by the touch of the divine. Then only it becomes a positive force in life. Nivasishyasi mayyeva atavurdhvam na samshayaha. After the body is destroyed at death, he will certainly live in me all the time. We have a sukshma sharira along with the sthula sharira. Sthula sharira goes away at the time of death, but the sukshma sharira lives in the divine. That is the language. Nivasishyasi mayyeva ada urdhvam na samshayaha. Thou shalt no doubt live in me thereafter. Then comes series of steps. If one is difficult, follow the next, follow the next. Say, verse 8. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi maya sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mamichhaptam dhananjaya. If you find it difficult to fix your mind on me, atha chittam samadhatum, says, na shaknoshi maya sthiram. If you find it difficult to fix the mind steadily on the divine, then take the next step. Abhyasa yogena tato mamichhaptam dhananjaya. Abhyasa yoga, practice abhyasa yoga, means continual practice. Things become easy when you continually practice them. Just like the biceps developed, if you daily take exercise with dumbbells, must be daily done. Similarly also, abhyasa yoga. First day I find it difficult. Second day, still difficult. After some days, a little better. In this way, there is such a thing as progress in spiritual life. So, do like this. Abhyasa yogena tato. Through abhyasa yoga, mamichhaptum dhananjaya. Try to become one with me, to try to achieve oneness with me through this abhyasa yoga. Abhyasepyasamarthosi mat karma paramo bhava. If abhyasa also is difficult, then go to the next step. Mat karma paramo bhava. Do all karma dedicated to me, dedicated to the divine. Madartham karma, mat karma says. That is, I do work, I do it for the Lord. That is how a bhakta does his work, because he wants to achieve the Lord, become one with him through his spiritual practice. So this kind of worshipping the divine through one's work, that is beautiful. The Spanish mystic have said, work is meditation through the body. A wonderful expression. Work is meditation through the body. Meditation through the mind is one type of meditation. But meditation through the body is work. Whatever I work, that is offered to the divine. So, abhyase pyasamarthosi mat karma paramo bhava. Mat karma parama. Devoted to doing the work for the Lord. Every work we can do in that spirit. Whatever we do, just like that butcher in the Mahabharata, who is simply killing animals, selling the flesh, and making his living. He became a great yogi, and another yogi was directed to go to this yogi to learn true yoga. He was a Brahmana ascetic. He was sent by housewife. After some instruction, go learn higher dharma from that person. So how can that person be spiritual when he is doing this kind of vyapara? No such thing. No karma is good or bad. It is our attitude that is very important. And so he was dedicated to the divine and served the divine through his work. He achieved yoga thereby. That is a famous story in the Mahabharata. Story of the Brahmana ascetic, the household woman, who also was highly spiritual by doing her own daily work in a spirit of dedication, and this merchant who was selling flesh. That is a very important story in the Mahabharata. Then, mat karma paramo bhava, madarthamapi karmani, kurvan siddhim avapsasi. You will achieve siddhi, realization, by doing work as dedicated to me, Madarthamapi karmani. Doing work, even doing work dedicated to the divine. Through that path also, you can achieve divine perfection. Madarthamapi karmani. Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. Then, athaidadapyashaktosi. Then, if you find even this is difficult, athaidadapyashaktosi, kartum madhyogam ashritaha. Then, come to madhyoga, Bhagavad yoga. Madhyogam ashritaha, sarva karma phalatyagam, tatah kuru yatatmavan. Very assiduously do the work. During the work, you cannot think of the divine. At the end of the work, let the fruits be offered to the divine. Sarva karma phalatyagam. I couldn't remember the Lord during working hours, but towards the end, I can offer all the fruits of the work to the divine. This kind of step-by-step method to train the mind for bhakti, Krishna is giving in these few verses. Madarthamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. Then, the next few verses speak of the characteristic of a true devotee. Verse 13 to 20. They are very beautiful, and the whole chapter is very beautiful, the smallest, with 20 verses. Many people memorize this chapter. It is fine to recite it when you are alone, think about it. That is the importance of this 12th chapter. Advait says, Athaidadapyashaktosi kartum madhyogam ashrataha sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. Sacrifice all the fruits of your actions to me and work hard, yatatmavan, self-control, self-discipline. Then also you can achieve perfection, he said in verse 11. And verse 12 onwards, you get the description of a true devotee. When we read these verses, we ask our own mind, how am I fitting this description? The Lord says, those who live like this are very dear to me. I also want to be dear to the Lord. How shall I do so? Step by step, let me practice these virtues. Then finally, that highest dedication to the divine will come. So that is the meaning of these verses 13 to 20. He says, before that, the Brihad. Verse 13 and 14, first one. Yes. Verse 12, summing up the previous verses. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karmaphala tyaga, tyagat shantiranantaram. The importance of various practices, one by one, is explained here. Says, first he said, Shreyo hi jnana abhyasat. Jnana is better than abhyasa. Shreya means better. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa. Mere abhyasa without jnana has no meaning. So jnana is superior to abhyasa. And then jnanat dhyanam vishrishyate. Better than jnana is dhyana, meditation. And then dhyanat karma phala tyaga. Through dhyana we achieve karma phala tyaga. All actions we renounce at the feet of God. That is what brings us through the practice of dhyana. Dhyanat karma phala tyaga. Tyagat shanti ranantaram. And when that tyaga comes, mind becomes shant, peaceful, serene. So, step by step, has been mentioned here. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnana, abhyasa, dhyana. And finally, karma phala tyaga. That the karma phala tyaga must come. That is the highest we have to achieve. This is all the Lord's. I am nothing. I am only the servant of the Lord. So that attitude must come through dhyana as well as jnana. If jnana and dhyana will not bring this attitude in me, they become meaningless, fruitless as it were. So finally comes shanti ranantaram. When all the results are surrendered to the divine, then shanti comes. Shanti ranantaram. That is the verse 12. And from 13 come the description of the devotee. Who is my true devotee? Such descriptions you get beautifully in the Srimad Bhagavatam also. Mayarpita atmana pamsam may sanyasya chesaha na pashyami param yogam agartu samadarshanat. Various verses are there in the Bhagavatam similar to this. The one who is dedicated to me, he is actually doing work and all fruits are offered to me, and yet he doesn't do any work at all. He feels relaxation because of that attitude of dedication. And so such a person is dear to me. He is achieving something great within himself. Normally, we do not consider what is happening to the mind when we work. Is it becoming better, purer, richer? We never ask that question. We just work and see external result. Yes, I have dug 20 pits today. Good work I have done. Or I have finished so many papers and given my opinion on it. My work is over. All that is work outside. What is happening to the mind? That we never ask that question. That is why there is so much trouble for man. Is my mind getting better and better? Is it getting purer and purer? Is it getting closer to the self that is behind? That means, is it achieving spiritual progress? If people ask that question, it will be a very important thing for humanity. Already here and there some magazines are being started, how to bring consciousness into the picture. Consciousness is left behind. Consciousness works, changes the world outside. What happens to consciousness itself? We never ask that question. That is the misfortune of the world today. Science deals with the objects, but scientist has a consciousness. What has happened to it? He doesn't care. That's not my purview. I am concerned with objects. So now only in this 20th century, a little awareness has come of the importance of consciousness, to handle consciousness. Can we develop it? Can we expand it? Can we make it pure? These questions are slowly coming. Ethical and spiritual questions slowly coming. When physical science has come to the end of its tether, it cannot go anything further. It can give you more gadgets, more machines, such things. Nothing higher. So a reaction has come. This subject has come. So here, Krishna says here that when you practice devotion, in the midst of work, your mind will be growing. That must be properly studied and directed to the right channel. There's an important responsibility of man. If he neglects the mind, he will get plenty of work, plenty of money, but that peace of mind, that spiritual growth, that inner strength, that will never come to him. That way he says. So, in these few verses, you have this beautiful idea. What is the first one? It says, Adveshta sarvabhutanam. How the beginning itself is a beautiful thing. Adveshta sarvabhutanam. No enmity towards any beings. My devotee will have no enmity towards any beings. That is the teaching. Then, Maitra, little ego, ripe ego, the devotee's ego, the servant ego. Whenever Sukha and Dukkha come, the mind is thrown into waves in ordinary people. But this devotee will try to keep the mind balanced in the midst of this unbalancing situation. Sukha, Dukkha. Along with it, Kshami, tremendous forbearance. For a little thing, he is not going to get excited and getting angry with people, punishing them, etc. We are now practicing some inner virtues. So some of the external actions will find a big change. If I am entirely worldly, I will have to hate people. I will have to fight with people. So many things I will have to do. But now I am in the world, I am also going towards the divine. And so a few of these beautiful virtues begin to come. A capacity to forbear is a tremendous capacity. A man did something to me, I go on keeping it very much in my mind. Even after 20 years, I don't forget it. That is the usual worldly type. But when spiritual life begins, it doesn't matter. I just soften it. Soften it. My mind is meant for something higher, not for cultivating all these resentments against the world. So this kind of quality you can see in anyone who practices spiritual life. I read an English sentence in a journal long ago. It says, "Blessed is the heart that does not collect resentment." If I am entirely worldly, I will have to hate people. I will have to fight with people. So many things I will have to do. But now I am in the world, I am also going towards the divine. And so a few of these beautiful virtues begin to come. A capacity to forbear is a tremendous capacity. A man did something to me, I go on keeping it very much in my mind. Even after 20 years, I don't forget it. That is the usual worldly type. But when spiritual life begins, it doesn't matter. I just soften it. Soften it. My mind is meant for something higher, not for cultivating all these resentments against the world. So this kind of quality you can see in anyone who practices spiritual life. I read an English sentence in a journal long ago. It says, "Blessed is the heart that does not collect resentments." One resentment, another resentment, I go on collecting in my heart. After 20 years, heart is full of resentments. What is the nature of that heart? As I said earlier, our body-mind complex has not become a refinery of experience. When it becomes a refinery, these resentments will not remain the same. We change them, we transform them. That capacity we have. So people have forgotten. Only one way track. Out. That man has done harm. I must finish him. That kind of attitude. In fact, that is what makes for tragedy in human life. Even the Mahabharata is full of occasions for such tragedy. One after the other, building up until it explodes in a total war. It's a big event in human history. So this kind of thing should not be. Vyasa wrote the book not to praise war, to show the evil of hatred, violence, evil attitudes, etc., etc. Towards the end of the book, he gave a summary of the Mahabharata to his son Shuka. There again he stressed this point. Never lust, greed, all these things should never be cultivated. The mind must be arrested. Whenever it takes these things within, slowly make it cleaner, purer, etc. That is my inward education. Outwardly, I am busy with everybody. So first, adveshta sarvabhutanam, maitra karuna evacha, narmamo nirahankara, samadukha sukha, kshami, kshama virasya bhushanam, is the Sanskrit saying. Don't think kshama is the virtue of a weakling. Because I am weak, I say kshama. There is no kshama at all for a weakling. Real kshama as a virtue comes only when you have tremendous strength. Virasya bhushana is the bhushana of the vira. That is the saying. Kshama. We are weak, you cannot say, I forgive you. Because you can't forgive that person. He is stronger than you. When you feel strong, forgiveness becomes great necessity. So always practice kshama, as mentioned here. There are all character traits, very, very beautiful in human life, in society, to live with such people. And we want to increase that number more and more. That is how a healthy society evolves. First one here, then another there, another there. In this way, people read these things, they try to practice it, and their number increases. Slowly, the ratio of forces in society becomes better and better. More good forces come, and less of evil forces. This is all coming from within itself. It is from the human mind that comes. Evil, good, everything comes from there. So, a little looking after how the mind is behaving in the context of work is absolutely essential for all people today. Otherwise, collective life will become difficult. Group life becomes difficult. Life between husband and wife will become difficult because either of them has not looked into the mind at all, only looking outside all the time. What has happened to my mind? Has it become bad? Can we turn in the right direction? These thoughts never trouble such people. So that is why there is so much of unnecessary unhappiness, suffering in the world. We can avoid it by taking a little care to shape the mind along with shaping the world outside at the time of work. Then, santushta satatam yogi. One of the important characteristics of spiritual life, as developed in India, is cheerfulness. Spiritual life is a life of cheer, of happiness, not something pathetic as it were, full of sorrow. Generally people understand spiritual people means full of sorrow. That is general understanding even today, because we have misunderstood the whole situation. So, whenever we have seen our brahmacharis going for bhiksha to various houses, the people ask from the house, what has happened to you? What suffering has come to you to come to this state of it? Like that they will ask. So, that is natural. Like that Kiriani, German-American lady, who died just 2 years ago. I was with her in Paris as well as near Munich. So she told her story. She was the, lady in charge of the 4 daughters of Onassis, that famous shipping magnate of Greece, Onassis. Those 4 girls grew up. By the time 20, 23, they were all married. She retired after 20 years of service with the Onassis family. She had never thought of God or religion. So she came to Paris. What to do in Paris? One Saturday paper, we saw there is a Ramakrishna Vedanta Center in Gretz. There is a talk there. Acha, let me go there. God alone made her go that way. She had never done it in her lifetime. So she went there. Beautiful ashrama, so many people were there. There she purchased the Gospel of Ramakrishna. She started reading. Entirely new, but entirely inspiring. My book, Message of the Upanishads, she read. By the time I went there, then she told me her story. And the most important part of the story is, she is so full of joy, she tells me, why did I waste my 70 years without knowing this truth? This is something wonderful, is it? But she gets a phone from Mrs. Onassis from London. Kiliani, what is the matter with you? Are you okay? Yes, I am perfectly okay, madam. No, you are in an ashrama. How can you be okay? Unless you are in trouble, you cannot be there. How can I make them understand? She was telling me, what a joy I am having. All the 70 years is a waste, I find, with these beautiful ideas if I had earlier. How nice it would have been. Now that is a story of not only one Kiriani. Hundreds of people have the same story. People not knowing that religion can be a religion of joy. Ramakrishna showed us a religion of joy. Krishna himself is a man of infinite joy. Jesus Christ was a man of joy in real life. Though in theology he became a man of sorrow. In life he was full of joy. You can study in the New Testament. So, this Krishna's advice here, santushtas satatam, constantly happy, because we are going to come in touch with a profound dimension. How can I be sorry then? So santushtas satatam yogi, yatatma, ever struggling to keep the mind in the right position. Yatatma, dridhanishchaya, determined mind. I have taken this path, I will continue. See the end of it, the joy of it. So, dridhanishchaya. Mayarpita mano buddhi, whose mind and buddhi are fixed in me. Yo mat bhakta, such a devotee of mine, same priyaha, is very dear to me. If a devotee is like this, he is very dear to me. That is the first two sentences. Then comes a very great idea, which you find mostly in Indian literature. This concept of strength combined with fearlessness and compassion. You have strength, you can be a danger to everybody else. No, my strength is a different type. It brings cheer and security to our people. That is a type of strength that comes from spiritual quality. That sloka is famous. Yasmanno dvijate loko, lokanno dvijate chayaha, harsha amarsha bhayodvegaya, mukto vayas sajame priyaha. First sentence. Yasmanna udvijate loko. Loka means the world. Na udvijate, doesn't get agitated. Yasmat, from whom. That person from whom the world is not agitated, because he is so simple, he is so peaceful, he is so calm. How can he agitate anybody? That is first quality. Yasmanno dvijate logo. But the second quality is still greater. Yuloganno dvijate jaya. The world also cannot agitate him. He is so strong, he is so fearless, the world cannot agitate him. And he is so gentle, he doesn't agitate the world. A combination of gentleness and strength is the rarest thing in the world. That is what typifies a true devotee. Gandhiji had that quality. Nobody need be frightened by him, and nobody could frighten him also. When you go deeper to spiritual life, these qualities begin to come. Absolute fearlessness, and yet fearlessness to others. No fear from me. Just like the Indian temple images with the hand showing like this, fearless. Abhaya mudra, it is called. Be fearless, be fearless. I am a source of fearlessness to you. These two mudras are most common. Welcome. Don't fear. These are the two. This hand shows welcome, you are welcome. This shows no fear. Abhaya mudra. See, these are the Vara mudra, Abhaya mudra. Two mudras are there. We have converted these concepts into our iconography. And most of the images have these, what you call mudras, shown. So here, Yasmanna udvijate logo, lokanna udvijate jayaha. He whom the world cannot frighten and who does not frighten the world. Why he doesn't frighten the world? He feels oneness with the world. His heart is full of love only. There is nothing else in him. Why the world cannot frighten him? He is strong as strength itself. He is in touch with the divine within. How can anything frighten such a person? So the more you go towards God, the more these two qualities will begin to manifest in you. We may not have it fully in the beginning, but even a little bit of it is wonderful. Why should I be a cause of fear to anybody? We are living in a civilized society. We must be able to shake hands and talk to each other as to friends, etc., etc. Now, in this way, spiritual life increases that ability to overcome fear and to destroy fear in others. That is the type of bhakti Krishna is mentioning here. Similarly, harsha, amarsha, Bhaya, Udvega. Harsha, excessive hilarity, called Harsha. Then Amarsha, anger, terrible hatred and anger. Then Bhaya, fear. Udvega also means mental agitation. None of these will be there to my devotee. He will be beyond all this. Harsha, Amarsha, Bhayodvegai, Mukto, free from all this. Yaha, whoever it be, Same Priyaha. He is dear to me. What a beautiful description of a devotee of God. Then, Anapeksha, Shuchirdaksha, Udasino, Gatavyataha, Sarva Arambha Parityagi, Yomat Bhakta Same Priyaha. Then comes another wonderful set of qualities. Anapeksha, never depending upon anything. Apeksha is dependence. Anapeksha, don't depend upon anything outside. Anapeksha, Shuchihi, pure. Daksha, tremendous quality of efficiency. That is the meaning of Daksha. That man is capable of doing that. He is Daksha, we will say. So Dakshata is a great quality. Efficient. A devotee will not be a goody-goody fellow. He will be very hard-working, tremendously efficient. Anapeksha, Shuchihi, Daksha. Udasino, and yet he is absolutely unattached, unconcerned as it were. Big work is going on, but he is unconcerned. Today's India's management philosophy slowly developing. Various people are writing books. There, this value will have a tremendous place. Heavy work, yet you don't carry heavy burden at all. That udasina, working hard, yet you are absolutely udasina. Udasina means indifferent to what is going on. What a difficult combination. Chinese thought, Indian thought, both have developed these two great ideas. Intense work, and yet you are not doing work at all. Calm and quiet. Udasino. Gata vyatha. Free from all vyatha, pain, suffering, etc. Gata vyatha. Sarva arambha parityagi. That egoistic planning of this and that. I shall do this, I shall do that. A feverish passion within. He has renounced it. Sarva arambha parityagi. Arambha means new project. Parityagi, renouncing. What comes to be done, he will do. But the idea, I am starting a new thing, will not be there. Heavy work will be there, but attention to that work will not be there. Sarva arambha parityagi. Yo mad bhakta, who is such a devotee of mine, same priyaha. He is very dear to me. Then, yo na hrishyati, na dveshti, na shochati, na gamshati, shubha parityagi, bhaktiman yas same priyaha. He who does not become elated, harshati, or not dveshti, doesn't get angry for something going wrong. Na shochati, he doesn't feel sorrow. Na kamchati, doesn't run after various objects of desires. Na kamchati. Then shubha parityagi. Beyond all this concept of shubha, ashubha, what is pure, what is impure, what is auspicious, what is inauspicious, he is not concerned with these things. Those who have devotion to God, these things become secondary. They come automatically, without any effort. And so, shubha parityagi, bhaktiman yah same priyaha. Such a devotee is really dear to me. Then comes samashatravacha mitrecha tatha manapamanayoho shetoshna sugadukheshu samasanga vivajjitaha. Samashatravacha mitrecha. You have got a feeling of equality, whether you're dealing with a friend or an enemy. This distinction has vanished for you. Samashatravacha mitrecha. Shatru, mitra, both are the same to me, that way. Tatha mana apamanayo. Similarly, somebody has honored you, somebody has dishonored you. It is just the same. My mind is not going to be worried about this matter. Shetoshna sugadukheshu samaha. You are even-minded in Sheta, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha. In all these varying stages, you are always the same. Your mind is not running up and down all the time. Shetoshna sugadukheshu samaha sanga vipajjitaha, free from all attachment. Tulya ninda studar mauni. In ninda or stuti, somebody is condemning you, somebody is praising you. Your mind is even, not at all disturbed by one or the other. Tulya ninda studar mauni. Mauni, deeply thoughtful. Mind is much interior. A little mind is outside to do all the work. Much of the mind is interior. That's the word mauni. Thinking person. Muni is called a thinking person. Naturally he speaks less. Therefore he is also silent person. So Shankara calls Muni this as one mananashila, ever engaged in thinking. That kind of man, a thoughtful person. That is a beautiful quality for any human being, because human being alone can be thoughtful. Animals are thoughtless, they act, that is all. Man can think. So here is a person who is silent, thoughtful. Tulya ninda studar mauni. Santushto yena kenachit. Satisfied and pleased with whatever comes. Yena kenachit. Then, aniketa stiramati. Literally, aniketa means I have no home. As a sanyasin is called aniketa. Niketa means home. Aniketa. But here it means, though living in the home, you don't feel you possess it. That attachment is there. Aniketa. Stiramati. Mind is steady. What a beautiful idea. When I was in Czechoslovakia, I discussed with the communists there. Nobody owns any property there. You live in the house as long as you want, change the house if you like, but you don't own any property. It's all the government. I said, it's a beautiful idea. You can practice non-attachment very easily if this situation is there. Provided other freedoms also are there, I added also. If all the freedom is taken away, only you are like a cattle put in a shed. That won't do. We want full freedom, and yet we don't own any property. That anxiety is not there. That high blood pressure is not there. Worrying about this. So such a socialistic system, you don't own anything. You enjoy everything around you. You don't own anything. That is beautiful, I said. And I saw that situation in Czechoslovakia in 61. Here it is voluntarily. You have developed that attitude. I live in the body, but I am not attached to the body. I live in the house. I am not attached to the house. It is just a place to work, that's all. In this way, we develop the quality of aniketa, homelessness, aniketa. Sthiramatihi, mind is steady. Sthiramatihi, aniketa sthiramatihi. Bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Such a devotee he is very dear to me, Krishna says. Finally, in verse 20th, he is concluding the whole statement. Ye tu dharmyamritamidam yathoktam paryupasate shraddhathana makkarama bhaktaste ativa me priyaha. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Ativa means exceedingly dear to me. What kind of devotee? Says, Ye tu dharmyamritamidam yathoktam paryupasate. What all I have said, if a devotee practices them fully, 24 hours of the day, paryupasate has got that meaning. Upasate, morning half an hour, upasana. Then forgot. Nothing else is there. But this is paryupasana. Pari means samantat. 24 hours you are doing upasana of the divine. Because the whole work that you do also is divine. And not merely some ringing a bell or doing ritual. So paryupasana can be done from this point of view. You cannot go on ritual 24 hours. Impossible. But this you can do. Spiritual religion can be done 24 hours a day. So Krishna says, that devotee who follows these teachings 24 hours a day, paryupasate, shraddhathana, with great shraddha, conviction, makparama, keeping me as the final goal. Such a devotee, bhaktaste ativa me priyaha. That is Krishna's, what you call, promise. We have said here, he who practices this teaching of mine, Krishna said, he has qualified that statement, a very important qualification. In no translation will you find the meaning of those two words given as intended by the Lord here. What is that word? It says, dharmyamritam idam. Yetu dharmyamritam idam. This teaching of mine, which is dharmyam and amritam. Two words are there. Generally people translate the nectar of teaching like that. But these are two great values which you find in the teachings of an avatara, incarnation. You may not find it fully in a mere teaching of a saint. There may be one aspect in it, the other aspect may not be there. What are the aspects? One is stability of society. Society is stable, progressive. People are happy. That is called dharmyam. That aspect of my teaching which conduces to social stability, welfare, happiness and welfare of all people, that's called dharmyam. And the other is amritam. It takes you towards the realization of the immortal Atman within you. That is amritam. My teaching has both these qualities. It can make for a better society. It can make for highly evolved spiritual beings as well. That is the speciality of my teaching. In the 9th chapter, verse 2, Krishna has said, dharmyam, the word had come there. This is dharmyam. If you follow this teaching, society will be better. Take for example, the mystical theologies. We had these 1,000 years in India. We have got some spiritual result from them, some devotion has come, some saints are there, but it did not sustain society. It weakened society. All sorts of weakening came. Foreign invasions came continuously, century after century. That dharmyam aspect was not there in the teaching. If dharmyam aspect is there, then social stability